Rajdeep, Akshata here, and while you've also given us a sense of what are the challenges for Revanth Reddy, the Chief Minister, what about Revanth Reddy as the head of the Telangana Congress here, which is months to go for the elections in 2024? Do you think that a repeat of this performance is possible in the Lok Sabha in the general elections by Revanth Reddy in Telangana?
Good question, Akshita. Look, let's look at what happened last time in Telangana. Last time, in fact, the Congress won just 3 seats. It was the BJP that won 4, 1 to the AIMIM and then 9 to the BRS. So the Congress was actually party number 3 in Lok Sabha. And if you and Nabila traveled more extensively than I did, you would have found a lot of people who said they would vote for the Congress this time to defeat KCR said in a general election. They might be tempted to vote for Prime Minister Modi. And the BJP certainly will hope that in places like Adilabad and Nizamabad, where they did well last time, they can repeat their performance. For the Congress, therefore, and for Revanth Reddy, the challenge over the next 5 months is not only governance, but also to project the kind of image that will make the Congress more electable in a Lok Sabha poll. He doesn't have too much of time. But that is, again, going to be a major challenge. To his credit, don't forget, Revanth Reddy himself won his Lok Sabha seat against the odds in 2019. So he is someone who knows the art of winning elections. And I think for the next 5 months, that will have to be the focus, because Telangana is among the few states where the Congress can hope to better their performance compared to 2019.
You know, Rajdeep, as we see, Revanth Reddy has now chosen 11 members to be part of the cabinet. I'm assuming he's already factored in all the political equations, political backgrounds, caste, religion, etc. A lot of them first-time MLAs. So the challenges aren't going to be way too many because in terms of the Congress party, it seems like a rebirth of sorts with all new faces coming to power for the first time. So the biggest challenge would be Uttam Kumar Reddy himself, because he's positioned himself as a Chief Minister. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't chosen. But it appears between Uttam Reddy and Malu Bhatti was given the deputy and not Uttam Kumar. So do you believe this is going to be turning into a friction? Could you be able to give us a background of Malu Bhatti and Uttam Kumar Reddy, the equations that they share with the now-to-be CM?
Look, Uttam Kumar Reddy, I think, had more or less reconciled himself to the idea that he wasn't going to become Chief Minister. In fact, he was telling some supporters that I'm happy if my wife, who's also become an MLA, is made a minister. I'll focus on Delhi and the centre. Remember, he is a Lok Sabha MP as well. Bhatti Vikramarka Mallu's case is different. He was the leader of the Congress legislature party, and his supporters are saying that it wasn't just a one-man show, it wasn't just Revanth Reddy, it was also Vikramarka's role as a Dalit face of the party that made a difference. Also, he was taking on KCR, they claim, within the assembly. Remember, Dalits have moved in large numbers to the Congress in Telangana, unlike, say, in a Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan, where they've actually gone towards the BJP. So Vikramarka was pushing for it. There were supporters of him within the Congress leadership, or a section of the Congress leadership, but eventually Rahul Gandhi had reportedly promised Revanth Reddy, and Revanth Reddy had by the end become the mascot and the face of the of the Congress's campaign against KCR. But Bhatti Vikramarka is waiting for his moment. Yes, he's the Deputy Chief Minister of the state. He may even get a crucial portfolio like land or revenue. But Uttam Kumar Reddy, I think, is someone who, by his nature, and when I asked him this morning, he said, look, I'm a team player. You know, I've been in the Indian Air Force. I know what it is to be part of a squadron. So he is going to be one of the members, he says, of the squadron to be led by their head Chief Marshal or the Chief Minister, Revanth Reddy. But he has, if he gets the finance ministry, as we are being told, he will be the one who will have to take a lot of the key decisions. So I think I don't see factionalism rising right away. There are even reports, and you guys can confirm it perhaps, that in the next month or two, there will be attempts made to break the BRS to shore up the numbers of the Congress.
Or the other way around, Rajdeep, the fear was DK Shivkumar landed in Hyderabad right after the win of the Congress and readied multiple buses for them to be taken to a resort. They were fearing that the BRS is going to try and poach some of their MLAs.
Those buses were actually backup in case the Congress didn't reach 60. They were then thinking of a plan B, which is why those buses were kept there. And I remember speaking to the Congress saying, are you going to take off your MLAs even post that? And this was post, they'd reached about 62 then. So then they said, no, these buses are leaving now from the hotel. It was a backup plan that they'd kept because knowing DK Shivkumar, he's the crisis man.
But to be honest, 65 is really not a massive majority for them. It's a comfortable majority, but 5 MLAs above the majority mark is very thin, wafer thin margin, honestly, Rajdeep.
The real test will come post Lok Sabha elections. If the BJP, as is widely expected, wins the Lok Sabha elections, then you could see its impact in a state like Telangana, as we saw, you will recall, in 2019 in Karnataka post the Lok Sabha elections. Then, whether it's wafer thin, whether you have a 10-15 member assembly, your government becomes vulnerable. So I think Revanth Reddy will have the challenge, and apparently he is more than willing to accept that challenge of seeing whether he can, in a way, weaken the BRS by getting sufficient MLAs to switch over possibly over the next 6 months before the Lok Sabha elections. Because once the Lok Sabha elections happen, and if the BJP does very well in them, then all opposition rule governments, including that of Revanth Reddy in Telangana, will be on notice once again.
So, Rajdeep, just in fact as a follow-up question to your answer previously about Uttam Kumar Reddy, about Bhatti Vikramarka and whether we're going to see factionalism. Interestingly, of the 11 names that we've received, Uttam Kumar Reddy's wife, Padmavati Reddy, isn't named yet as someone who's going to be sworn in. But we'll see whether she's included later on in the minister's list. Another point, Rajdeep, while you say that, there's going to be no real factionalism breaking out per se, and that Bhatti Vikramarka is going to be okay being a deputy for now, which I find very surprising because he's a veteran of the Congress. Do you think that while this won't translate into factionalism, it could trigger Dalits, that they could feel a bit slighted because here was an opportunity for them to get a Dalit chief minister, a promise made by KCR which wasn't fulfilled. The Congress had that opportunity to kind of send out a message saying, look, we fulfilled it.
I think they did have the opportunity. I think, though, that it was the manner in which the campaign was run. If you look at the campaign, Akshita, Revanth Reddy was the face. Now, having made him the face, it was very difficult then to change gears and say, no, now we will play the Dalit card. You're right that Dalits have supported the Congress in large numbers in this election. And this is a state which has not thrown up a Dalit chief minister. I don't think even the United Andhra has had a Dalit chief minister. Maybe Anjaya, if I'm not mistaken, may have been one subject to correction. So my sense is that the Congress decided, look, at a moment like this, with 64 MLAs, with the fear always there that the party could break apart at some stage in the future, we need a strong man like Revanth Reddy who can really manage the flock, and let's go with him. Bhatti Vikramarka as Deputy Chief Minister has at least been partially assuaged for now. We don't know what the future will bring. So they've chosen the street fighter over any attempt at social engineering. And for now, I don't see, as I said, for the next 6 months, I don't see any major challenge to this government. The challenges will come post Lok Sabha election.